So today we're looking at the best cams in FC25. We are also trying out a new feature that I've been seeing on Futbin with the tier list feature. It's a little bit easier to put the cards in, so let me know, do you prefer this or do you prefer the previous tier list? Obviously it's brand new feature, so most stuff will be added. If you need coins in FC25, lootbar.gg has you covered. They are the cheapest trading platform on the game, 8 to 10% cheaper than any others, 8% off if you use the code JT11 at the end at checkout, plus you get 5% extra on coins. With the fastest delivery system going, used by many FC25 creators such as Zorky, Manny Plus, and even Pro Owners. So if you need any coins, head over to lootbar.gg, make sure JT11's in the promo code, and hopefully you enjoy. And obviously if there's anything you would like to see, obviously we've got the players in, they can be imported straight away, so it's kind of the benefit of it. But let's get into the video, let's no nonsense. So starting off with the cams, we've got a lot of the top end at the top here. Pele, Zidane, Cruyff, I think they're pretty easy to explain that they are going to be some of the top players in there. Like naturally, them three players especially are coming in at massive value still. We're yet to see a huge icon pack yet, which is understandable. We are only in the 1st of November as of tomorrow, so I am not expecting many people to have Zidane or Pele, especially when they are coming in at 7.5, 4.5 and 6.5 mil. Like that, it's a pretty standard kind of point that not many people will have them, giving them that extra little bonus of being very unique in the game. Not a lot of people will have tried them out, and if you have, it's probably from a loan or a draft more so than anything, or you've been incredibly lucky throughout your career on packs. But the ones that we have seen, Jude Bellingham, a lovely new KDB, Putellas now being rumoured. I don't think it's official yet, but she has won the Player of the Month according to some sources. So whether we see that SBC coming very, very soon will be nice and interesting, especially with the Ballon d'Or kind of card design. I'm still assuming that's going to be cosmetic more so than anything, but we will see that over the course of the next few weeks. We have got Hullet obviously in this as well. We do keep going down in terms of ratings, so we will kind of see where everybody's going really with this, because obviously a lot of the icons will still be at the top of the top. It's why I don't add them too much, especially into like the midfielder ones where it's an overview of everybody in the midfield, because realistically you've got kind of like these cards. Not many people will have tried these. Like the top 1%, if you're, like I say, very lucky, like a 1 out of 100,000 that have packed them, or you've just spent so many points or got very lucky in packs to go and buy one of them. I've spent a fair bit of money on the game, and I think the most I could afford would be Bobby Charlton. I've definitely not got 6 or 7 mil for Pele or Cruyff, and I think Hullet is like ridiculous value as well. He's 6.7, so I don't nobody has that. I think a mil and under at this point is where everybody's at in terms of value. When we're looking at the likes of a Jude Bellingham and obviously a KDB, where do they level up in comparison to these icons? Now, the gold card I definitely think still comes in at an S. He is coming in at an incredible value for himself. He seems to be one of them cards that is just not necessarily even very packable, but he just seems to be a lot easier than first kind of anticipation for him. Like he's 93,000 on this version. I really thought it'd be half a mil quite easily, especially being the ambassador, being the front cover of FC25. You'd assume that in a gold stance he'd have his own body type, his stats would be absolutely nuts, and he would be that sort of card that is the staple of golds, like your Mbappe's, like your Virgil's. He would be the middle card, and as much as he's very good, don't get me wrong, he's in my team, I've got the gold, still fantastic. I do think that he's kind of a little bit downgraded now. Like we definitely could do with more upgrades for him. We've kind of got that pinnacle of a side now where it's like $1 million to $1.5 million for the whole squad, and most high-end sort of players have that already. Obviously his 91 is an easy one that goes up in this absolute tier. He incredible, absolutely incredible, which takes me down to big old Kev. Now, like a lot of these, like a Harry Kane, a Lewandowski, the pace is a massive issue on the gold card. I think the only thing that really holds Kev together at this point is that lovely incisive pass. The playstyle plus is absolutely massive for him, and I think having that 13 increase in pace is huge for him. So for me, again, it would be kind of like Jude. I think the Playstyle Plus is holding him in the S, and then the Total Rush is an incredible cam card. If you're looking centre mid cam, kind of more of your attacking midfielder, even if he is playing centre mid, he works it to the absolute T. He is very, very good at that role. Which then leaves a Baggio and a Del P, because realistically they are two very good cards as well. And this is the hard part. When you look at a Del P, you look at a Baggio, and it's like they are incredible, but I wouldn't necessarily put them at the absolute top. Like, obviously with Del P, he's got the finesse shot plus, very broken mechanic. Maybe you could argue that he'd be more of a striker at this point with that finesse, but if you've got a 4-2-3-1 where you've got the free cams, you could put him on the left-hand side and he shoots it on his right. Obviously with Baggio, he will have a different set as well with his technical plus. Again, coming in at good value. I think Del P's coming in just slightly more. And then obviously, you've got the king of cams. You've got a lovely bit of Kaka. Now he's got the rapid plus, which is always a good playstyle plus. May not be the greatest for the middle because he's not necessarily going to be carrying the ball for long distances unless that's how you work it. Like I say, in a 4-2-3-1, he could be one of the right or left cams and just absolutely sprints it rather than a winger. Interesting debate with him. I do think Kaka, though, mainly because of that 5-star, 4-star, really hits home. And I think for now, Del P would go into that top, but it'd be kind of like a little branch underneath. I think you've got to add that branch unless you're dropping Jude and K down into the A plus, which I don't think they are. I think the S plus at the minute is still got so much top end heaviness because we haven't had that pack that drops them down yet. Baggio would drop down into here. We'd then see a couple of the lower options. Obviously, we've got like the Litmanens, the Riquelmes, the Hagis. Very good for the cards they are, but realistically, they are the value because of how good or how not so good they are. You've got Litmanen coming in at 26,000. I think that pretty much says all you need to know. Now, obviously, with these icons and heroes, some of them, I think all of them have had either at least 2 or 1 pack already released that you could do to get them. Obviously, Hagi is coming in with a decent playstyle plus, which is going to help him. Whereas I think Riquelme, Flair is just not going to be the one, unfortunately. So playstyle pluses are going to make a massive weight change for the start of this. And I think for me, I would happily go kind of something like that. I think they would be kind of there. Loudrop would do the same, as much as he's a solid card, stats-wise, very good, but realistically, the playstyle plus is going to be massive for him, and it really does play that big part in his card. Now, the only kind of good vary of him is 4-star, 4-star, which is at least a minimum requirement at this point, whereas like Litmanen is only the 3-star weak foot. At that point, when you can spend 25 to 30, 40,000, you could just go get a KDB, a Bellingham for like 50k more, and be absolutely sound down there. Obviously, looking back up a little bit, we'll kind of keep going with the theme going down. We have got the likes of Bonmati and also Putellas as obviously their special versions. Now, we are likely to get a player of the month, which more than likely will be very expensive. Gold card still coming in at 350. You've got 1.8 on a 91, which is just incredible value regardless, but she is also a 5-star, 5-star, so that's already the level that you want. With Bonmati, in question whether she gets a Ballon d'Or. Now, obviously, with her, you could kind of beg for more of a centre mid cam role, but I do think with the finesse, it does put her more into that top end. The Trailblazer version obviously had a change in playstyle plus as well, so it does add that different level. I would say both of these ladies would be at the top of the game, and would drop down into the S. To be fair, with Putellas is definitely the 5-5 could be considered in that top end, most definitely. Then we have a few of the other cards with upgrades. We've got Dybala, we have Wirtz, both very, very nice indeed. Obviously, Dybala, unfortunately, only having the 3-star, I want to say it's weak foot rather than skills, but it could be the other way around. Yeah, 5-star skills, 3-star weak foot. In terms of that, it's just one of them. I would love a little bit of a higher version for him, but obviously he is still available for an upgrade, hence why he is so expensive still. And Wirtz is coming in with his lovely incisive. It's exactly like what we liked for Kev. It's the same here. So them two would definitely sit in that top category. We then see Hamsik, very nice option again. Him and Pele will definitely sit into that S. I think Hamsik could be argued to go up one more, but I would say at this point I would be liking a nice upgrade for him. He's just on that million mark at the moment, so it will be interesting to see when we get the next hero set. We're starting to get the on this day heroes. Robbie Keane apparently is coming out today, as it did mark his 500th appearance in the Premier League, so that could be absolutely massive. We got the likes of Odegaard, who for me would be dropped down 1 until he gets an upgrade. He needs a better weak foot at 2-star. Obviously the incisive as well, which is nice, but Kev just does it that slightly bit better with a 5-star, 4-star, or 4-5 if you're going the other way around. That's what Odegaard needs. It's the same as Bruno. Bruno again is kind of there. He's got the 3-4, which is nice, but you need a little bit more. You definitely need to offer that bit more in that role. I will say Foden, he's one of them cards that is unbelievable for what he's actually got. Like, realistically, if you look at him as a card and take him on merit, we got the technical plus. It's not the worst in the world, but it's okay at the minimum. You've got the right mid, right wing, left wing cam positions. Very nice kind of variety. You've then got pace, which can be upgraded. You've got decent shooting, decent passing, incredible dribbling, and yet he's still only a 4-star, 3-star. If he was to just have that 4-4 off the get-go, this card would be absolutely nuts straight away. Now, I still really like him on that left stick dribbling. He is one that doesn't really let the ball go and will just run through the team, little passes, and he works it down to a dream. Whereas someone like Wirtz, it's kind of like the Prem tax. It's kind of how you imagine a card as well. Because obviously you got 17.5k, doesn't quite have the shooting or the pace that Foden has, so he will drop down. Now obviously he does have the incisive pass, which is obviously a big one for the playstyle pluses, so I'd say he would go down 1 more. When it comes to his 89, again, doesn't really necessarily have a great deal more of an upgrade, like it's standard, whereas you see the 90, at least they've got that next level for him. It's kept incisive on every single one, which is nice, but I would say they would stay at that kind of A+, and the total rush would go up 1 more. Rutter, easy one. He is a pain in the absolute rear when it comes to online. He's just beautiful as a cam. He was a must-do, 160,000, 5-5, potential of an upgrade at some point with an evolution. He is incredible in that cam, on the wing, up front. He does absolutely everything in my opinion. Marta would drop down into obviously an A+, 4-star, 5-star, which is nice, but the Flair Plus, it's just not really the one I would personally go for. If we keep going up a little bit, Socrates would go in here. Havertz would obviously go in here. We got JJ. Schneider is one that once he gets the upgrade, I don't know what they do to him, but every time we've had the upgrade, it's just taking him up a gear. Sometimes when you go for like a promo hero, they look okay. Like they may be 1 step off the meta. Schneider always just comes in on clutch. Like the card itself, very nice indeed. Incisive, 5-5, very nice. But I guarantee you when they give him that next upgrade, he's going to be unbelievable. Enzo Francescoli. It's solid, but I mean, the first touch is not necessarily going to be anything to write home about. 313 on the price, a little bit harder to get than most. We've only just got up to the max 88 hero, so it's fair enough. I'd say he's a decent card enough, to be honest. His balance is a little bit low, but everything else is on a decent level at the minimum. So I'd probably go without the obvious playstyle plus being better. I would probably drop him down 1 more. Then we've got Rui Costa and also Nakata, both of them previous icons in the game, both of them coming in relatively cheap. 50,000 for Rui Costa, no playstyle plus on him, and the exact same for Nakata. Both of them do have the 4-4. Now, both of them are decent cams from a standpoint of at the start of the game. Now we're into the game a little bit more. I think you could definitely get better than 127 for him in this role, in my opinion anyway. Again, he's not the worst card that you could get from the hero pack. So that is one thing if you're looking at it that way. It's definitely not the worst, but I mean, it's not the greatest either. Now, obviously, Zola. Zola is unbelievable. Love a bit of Zola in me. Excuse me. Definitely 1.1 mil is kind of the pairing with Del P. Him and Del P together are beautiful. Both with the finesse. Both of them obviously having a very good skill move weak foot. Del P does outclass him by just one. And if you do look at the comparison between both of them, they are coming in with a lovely pairing. So if we look at Del P here, you've obviously got the 83 pace versus the 85, 88 versus 90 shooting, 87, 85 passing, 91, 89 dribbling. It's kind of like a battle off between them two. Obviously, Del P has the overall stat boost in my opinion, and it's hence why he's like a couple of 100,000 more. So I would go with Zola into a lovely S-class. Palmer. Now, what a guy this guy is. Honestly, his card, if he carries on, is going to be nuts. We've already had an inform. We then got the player of the month, very cheap. Obviously, with the inform as well, having the ability to add the power shot plus to him, very nice indeed. But the 88 is outstanding. Already having 7 pace on the increase, 4 shooting, 5 passing, 4 dribbling and physical. He is just a force to be reckoned with. He's got himself the 4-4, which is very nice. And I do think when you look at the player of the month, it's a good card. It's very cheap, it's affordable, and he's hot market. Like that is kind of him. So I would say would be looking definitely towards an A+, especially with the inform. The inform would have probably been one lower, just the fact that he's lower rated as well. The stats are very similar in terms of the 87, obviously, but he does have the possibility of a power shot plus for free as well. You don't have to pay anything for him. So if you've got that card, very nice to have him in there as well. But the Trailblazer for me is definitely more into the S. And if he does carry on, we're going to see a very nice team of the season for him. The likes of Nkunku and Madison, for instance, two of them, both kind of cards that you would have associated maybe at the start of the game. Realistically, they're going to be dropped down into this category now. And it's interesting to hold on to some of these cards because it's always interesting to see when they become completely not usable. Now, obviously, with them, evolutions will come and bump them back up if they don't get another promo card or an inform or anything to get them up to that next level. So it's not like they're there forever, but for now, I would say they're kind of dropped down. We have obviously got as well the brand new Saudi cam, Noir or Noor, however you want to pronounce it. Again, pretty bog standard. He's got the press proven, which for a cam is just not needed at all. Stats wise is decent across the board. There's nothing too crazy to shout about, and obviously a 3-star skiller. He'd come right down to the bottom here. Gomez, very nice cheap card. He again came out with Rutter, and I think if you did complete Rutter, it'd be like, why not to complete Gomez for a maybe evolution later on down the line. 26,000 was very nice and cheap. He has expired since then. 4-star, English in Ligue 1. Some decent stats across, like dribbling is obviously very, very high up there. And then even passing. Realistically, you're mainly losing out on crossing and free kick accuracy. I don't need him to really do any of them. So he's definitely a decent card that you could go in. But I probably wouldn't necessarily go any more than a very low to medium A+, especially when you are looking at some of these heroes. Like he's kind of on the back burner with them more so than anything. We then have another influx of heroes. You've got Dempsey, Donovan, Rosicki, Ricken, and Kite. I don't think really any of them come over about 50,000 coins. Maybe Donovan at 41. You've got Rosicki coming in at 60, give or take. Then you've got Dirk Kite at 34. Ricken's got to be one of the cheapest, I'm pretty sure, 15,000. And then Dempsey's probably about joining him as well at 20,000. So you kind of get where I'm going with them. Playstyle pluses, Rosicki is obviously the only one with just that slight bit of help in that lovely playstyle plus of incisive. But realistically, everybody else is coming down into that A. There's nothing from them. I definitely prefer a Nakata or Rui Costa compared to them, unfortunately. We've got Brandt as another UCL road to the knockout. Can have the upgrades as well, which is always nice. We are getting to the portion now where teams are either one win away or actually having the upgrade already. So it will be interesting to see a brand new list of them once we have had the full list complete, once we've had all their matches done and everybody's either in the top 2 or hasn't got the rewards. But Brandt, I'd say, he'd be coming in at an A+, very medium to low A+, but that would kind of be about it for him. And then we've got 3 more cards. It's got Cherokee, Musiala, Dybala. All of them pretty standard. Obviously, flair, technical, and also the first touch. Nothing really crazy in player style pluses with them. Musiala is set to get an SBC in Trailblazer Team 2, so that will always be an interesting one to see. But realistically, again, you're going to be looking at a very, very moderate A+ to about an A, give or take. I'd probably choose them over these, especially for the cost-effective price. But even then, I could argue like Dybala could be down one, but I'd say for right now he would stick into this value. So let me know down below what you think about this new tier. How is it? What do you think? We've obviously go through the list. S+ into the S, into the A+, into the A, and into the B+. So let me know anybody else that I've missed or got, and what do you agree with or what do you don't agree with. Take care. Peace.